So just now we have discussed about the unit step function. The second important elementary function is unit impulse function. A unit impulse function can be regarded as a rectangular pulse whose width is infinitesimally small. Okay, so let us take a very narrow pulse which is shown here, whose width is epsilon. Okay, so whose width is epsilon, and epsilon by 2 on the positive side, epsilon by 2 on the negative side. The total width is epsilon, and height is 1 by epsilon, and the area under the curve, under the pulse, is unity. Let us assume it is unity. So if the width is epsilon, okay, if the width is epsilon, the height will be 1 by epsilon. So that the area under the pulse is unity. Now what I am going to do, I am slowly reducing the width of this one towards 0. Okay, it is approaching 0. That means the width will become very small, but the area under the pulse is still unity. So what happens? This pulse height, as the width reduces, this pulse, what will happen to this pulse width? It will increase in height. But the area under this curve is unity again. Okay, so what happens here? This kind of function, when the width approaches 0, it takes the shape of a straight line. So that is the shape I am showing here. And because I cannot show what is the height of this one, it will become very large. So height will become very large, width will become almost 0. Okay, so the area under in this curve again is unity. So this kind of very large pulse of very small width can be represented by a delta function like this. I call this as unit delta function because the area under this pulse is unity and it is taking the shape of a straight line. So this is nothing but unit delta function. What is the definition for this? Okay, what is the definition for this? Yep, an impulse exists at t equal to 0. Okay, that means delta t is the function reserved for the unit step function, unit impulse function. Delta of t means it is reserved for the unit impulse. So delta of t equal to unity if t equal to 0. That means at t equal to 0 I have an impulse. At other reason, if t is not equal to 0, there is no signal. It is 0 this side and 0 this side. So it is only at t equal to 0 the impulse exists, and its height is, you call this because the width is 0, height you can take, because area is unity again. So you can call this as unit impulse. Okay. So that means the limiting form of a narrow rectangular pulse is nothing but the impulse function or unit impulse. Okay. Now let us multiply a given function. You are given some function, let us multiply by an impulse. What will happen? Let us see. So that means, let us say I have some function like this and I have an impulse here. So this is, let us say this is phi of t. Instead of x of t, I am using phi of t here, and this is delta of t. These two, if I multiply, what happens? This side all zeros, only at t equal to 0, I have unity value. When I multiply this 1 into this value, whatever value is there here, this may be, for example, let us say this may be 10 10, this may be 7, this may be 6, this may be 6.9, this may be 6.95, like that. Okay. So at t equal to 0, the function, the given function phi of t has a value of 7. Okay. Or at t equal to 0 means this value, this height, this single value is nothing but phi of 0. I can write it as phi of 0. So why phi of 0 at t equal to 0? It is phi of 0. I am neatly writing this again. So this is phi of 0. Okay. So any function when multiplied by an impulse, the resultant value is equal to the value of that function at that instant. Okay, whatever value is there. So this phi of 0 equal to 7 here. In this case it is 7 because the function phi of t has 7 value at t equal to 0. Okay, so that is what. So let us, same thing, I am just writing it here. Phi of t continuous at t equal to 0. By, you are multiplying by delta t. What is happening? The value of, the value at t equal to 0 is phi of 0. I have already explained to you. And phi of 0 is the value of that function multiplied by delta t. So delta t, okay, it is like a unit step function. So at that point, at t equal to 0, you are considering time limit you are specifying here at t equal to 0. Okay. Now this is in general multiplication, and that means this total function, delta function, this total function and this total function, both functions you are multiplying. So this is total function I am taking here, total function of delta I am taking here. And after multiplication, I will get only one value. Well, though I am multiplying this side and this side, all are zeros. So I am getting only one value out of this, even after the total multiplication of two functions, which are infinite long. But I have one value. What is that one value? Phi of 0 multiplied by phi of 0 multiplied by delta of t. So that is what it means. Now let us say this delta is shifted to this. Let us say this is t. This delta is shifted, delayed by t units, time units. What happens? Now when you multiply this function value is captured by this. Okay, this is the one value I will get. What is this value? 6.95 something like that is there. It is shown like that numerically. Okay, so this is the value I will get. So whenever I take, if I want to find the value at this point, let us say some point here I want to find. Okay, this is the point I want to find the value at this point. Then what I have to do? I have to multiply, I have to put one impulse here and multiply with this. Then I will get this value. So each value, value of the function at each instant can be obtained by multiplying by the delta function. Okay, that is the meaning of this one. Because this is delayed by t, so this is nothing but delta. This function is nothing but delta of t minus t. Okay, delayed by t seconds. Now what I am doing? One function, full function I am taking over full period, that is minus infinite to plus infinite, and here also delta t of minus t over minus infinite to plus infinite. Okay, full function. But on this side, when t equal to greater than, in this case, what is happening? When t equal to greater than, small t equal to greater than t, it has zeros, or t is not equal to, small t is not equal to t, then this value become 0. At t equal to t, this becomes unity. Okay, so the multiplication of two full functions over full range, and this is single value, scalar value, single value, and this is the delta function. Okay, so left hand side is the multiplication of two functions, right hand side is the single value, scalar value. Scalar value means single value which you get at that instant t. Okay, so left hand side is function multiplication of two full functions, other side is only single value. Okay, that is more important here. So let us discuss about the sampling property of unit impulse function. So the unit impulse has a property called sampling property. Let us explore that property. We know this relation, that is phi of t, delta t equal to phi of 0 into delta t. Okay, this we know already. And what we are doing similarly, okay, then what I am doing, I want to integrate this. Let us integrate both sides, this side and this side, with respect to t. Okay, so this is what I get after integration dt. Okay, right hand side, phi of 0 is a constant. It is not a function of time. Okay, so it comes out of the integral. And only delta t will be there inside the integral. So integral minus infinite to plus infinite, delta of t dt. Okay, so what is this one? This portion, what is this one? This is the area under the curve, under the delta function. Okay, what is delta function? This is delta function. Height is unit impulse function. It is unit impulse. Height is unity and area is also unity. So if I integrate this line, also I will get the same value, that is equal to unity. So phi of 0 multiplied by unity, I will get phi of 0. This is what you have. Okay, and this is called sampling property or shifting property. What is this one? The area under the product curve. This is the product curve. Area under the product of the function. This is what? Area product. What is the product one? Phi of t, delta t. This is the product. And area under the product function means integration. Okay, product of the function, of a function with unit impulse. This is what unit impulse is. The value of that function at that instant. This is the value of that function at that instant. Okay, I am again reading it. The area under the product of a function with a unit sample. So unit impulse. The area under the product of a function and unit impulse. The product of function and unit impulse is the value of that function at the instant where the impulse is located. Okay, here at t equal to 0, the impulse is located. That's why phi of 0 I am taking. Okay, this property is known as sampling or shifting property of the unit impulse. Okay, what was the previous property? This is just a multiplication of a function by an impulse. This is only value. Okay, but in this case, I am trying to find the area under this curve. Okay, one sample I am talking about previously. This is regarding one sample. This is regarding the area after the multiplication. Okay, so there are slightly different. Though the equations appear similar, they are different. Okay, so this is called the sampling or shifting property of the unit impulse. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.